we're back, and what a way to end the season. We're back at Silverstone for the Birkett this year, and yeah, it's been a really good weekend. So I forgot to record an intro when we arrived because it was hectic as usual, so I'm going to do both in this bit.
I think first we should maybe explain why we haven't posted in 3 months. So after Donington, obviously I had to fix the car, trying to get it in preparation for Cross, so we bought new studs because the old one sheared, that's why the wheel came off. We got the brake discs skimmed, we needed a bit of repair to the caliper that the wheel came from. So got all that sorted, thanks to Northeast Brakes for doing all that for us. So yeah, disc skimmed, calipers all fine, refreshed, rebuilt, and all that good stuff. We also nice shiny new spacers because we lost one when the wheel went flying, so nice shiny spacers. And then putting it all together, new studs on, new wheel bearing as well. Just trying to get it ready for the next round, which is meant to be at Croft. However, we started driving down to Croft. We got maybe an hour and a half away from home, and this happened. So the van just started making a horrible noise, and yeah, we just couldn't make it. So fast forward 2 months, we're driving a Land Rover Discovery and on our way to the Birkett.
So who were we with? We were with Bad Boy Tuning this year. They had 2 teams full minis. There was 3 in our team and 3 in the other team, so we were team 4. And we had myself and Stephen with Wolftrax Racing. I was driving, Stephen was on the mechanics, and we were with Matty Hibbard and Andrew Hawes. And in team 3 we had Stephen Berry, Sean Wortley and Charlie Newton Darby. So it was a really good weekend. Yeah, the Birkett's always good. It's a 6-hour relay race at Silverstone for those who don't know. And yeah, the Mini performed almost flawlessly. We had a drive shaft go, but that's just Mini problems. We weren't the only one. Matt had one as well go.
Well, no, the first issue was the indicator on the passenger side flew out.
Yeah, so during qualifying, my qualifying time was pretty crap because there was a knocking noise or a banging noise. I knew there was something hanging off the car. I just could not see it, and I was like radioing to Stephen. I'm like, the car's making a noise. There's something hanging off, and can you see it? But obviously on the pit wall they couldn't see anything, so I was like, okay, I don't know what it is. The car's handling fine, so fine, I'll just keep going. When I came in, yep, the indicator on the passenger side was hanging off and it had been whacking against the door. That's what I'd been hearing, but otherwise the car was completely fine. Sorry, just recording straight the pits. It sounds like there's something hanging off, but I don't know. In our first stint, I think we'd agreed with the team that we'd do 40-minute stints each, and that was fine. Again, just getting used to the track again. It's been a year since I've been at Silverstone, since Birkett last year. Just kind of remembering that the radicals just come out of nowhere and just appear on corners. So yeah, I have to watch out for them. I think I spun out. I can't remember. I haven't even looked at the footage yet. I spun out during the first round that we did. Again, just because a car came out of nowhere, I tried to avoid him and it just sent me into the wet because it was really greasy in the morning. It was supposed to be dry all day yesterday, however in the morning there was it was greasy because it was cold, and then there was a bit of drizzle as well, which kept the track a bit damp. We were running the Toyo Triple R8s that we'd been running all year. Not a massive fan of those tyres, but they were running okay. And we put a new set on the front. That's why you'll see in the video the car's got 2 different coloured wheels. That's why, because we've got our new set on the front, because we hadn't actually used them at all this season. Because, like I say, it's been radio silence for us for a while because we didn't actually make it to our last race with Mini Challenge because the van broke down on the way to Croft, unfortunately. So yeah, we had a brand new set of tyres, so we thought, well, we may as well use them at the Birkett. And then by the second time I went out, beginning to find my pace again, getting my confidence back in the car, because this season for us has been a bit rubbish. Like, there's been issues with the car, there's been crashes, it's not been the best season. So yeah, I was starting to get my confidence back, getting a few battles in. which is how I drive best, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed that session. And then the third session, more of the same, getting my times down all the time. What session was it the car broke?
think it was
The second session.
no, it was the second session.
Yeah, so just at the end of my second session, you'll have seen all this on the video already probably. Just as I was going past the pit wall and Stephen's like, come in on your next lap, on this lap. Literally, I just turned that corner and I felt something go, the handling felt a bit funny. And then I heard this like grinding noise. I was like, yep, drive shaft. So I just like pulled in at the first marshal post that I saw, managed to get off the track and stop the car, radioed ahead and was like, let's send the next guy out. So Andrew
And
went,
also, by the way,
yeah,
Emma says it's all nice and calm just now. She made it sound so much worse on the radio, because literally I radioed her, come in next lap, yeah, copy, fine. And then next thing I hear from her was, I'm off, red flag, I'm off.
I didn't say red flag.
You did?
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like I'm trying to like radio like, are you okay? Like what's happened? Blah blah blah. And then you're just like, just send the next guy out. I'm off. Just send the next guy out. so I went over to Wayne. Just said just send Andrew out. So he went out, and then you got recovered, and that's when we figured out it was the drive shaft.
Yeah, so I thought it was a drive shaft. I stopped at the marshal post. There was like smoke coming from somewhere. So I was like, I said to the marshal, like, first of all, Stephen's in my ear, so I couldn't hear what the marshal was saying. And then, like I say, she was like, do you want to recover? And I was like, yeah, I think it's the drive shaft. And then I was like, where's the smoke coming from? Because at this point I was still in the car. And she's like, I think it's your brakes. I'm like, if it's my brakes, that's fine. I've just come in, like obviously I've just done, what, 40 minutes, so they're obviously
But
hot.
we'd also literally just put on brand new pads.
Yeah, as well.
Between the sessions.
So he changed all the pads this time out at Birkett. He changed the back ones after qualifying, and then after session 1 he changed the front pads, so all new brakes round. And since the wheel had come off at Donington, that's the last video you've seen, we've also had the front brakes discs skimmed. The brakes weren't actually damaged, but we thought after that off, and obviously it was kind of sitting on its brake disc in the gravel until I got recovered. Obviously it didn't have damage, but we thought we'd just be better getting it sorted, so we did. Anyway, yeah, so I got flat lifted onto the flatbed.
Pretty feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Straight shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. 1.5. 30 seconds forward, drift. Okay, engine stop. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
And brought back to the paddock, and then we were trying to diagnose the issue, because obviously the grease, it was the drive shaft like I thought, but when we saw, there was obviously, I looked underneath when it was on the flatbed, and there was just like like usually when it's done that before, the grease goes inside the wheel, and I couldn't see that, but I think it's because I stopped really early. As soon as I heard it, I pretty much stopped, but all I could see there was like, it was wet like underneath on the suspension and on the subframe, so I was like, I don't know if that is the drive shaft. And then when we saw the liquid on the flatbed, we're like, oh, it looks like coolant, because it was like really kind of bubbly, but obviously it got so hot, it was grease, it was just melted grease essentially. So yeah, we got it off, and then we were thinking it was various things. At one point Stephen thought it was the gearbox, thankfully it's not. Got the car.
Because what had happened, like basically two things happened at once. The outer CV had just completely shut itself basically. There was just no movement left in it, and it kind of like rounded off the splines on the drive shaft. and then the inner CV, I just newly rebuilt that, but the clip on the end of it wasn't tight enough, so I've been letting grease out, so that grease from the inner was all over the end of the gearbox.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
So I thought the diff seal in the gearbox was gone, but it wasn't until I pulled the drive shaft out. I'm like, oh, actually, where the seal sits is dry.
Yeah, the drive shaft was completely dry.
It's not the seal that had gone. It's just the big end of the boot had just been letting grease out. So that was fine. So we put, thanks to Matt Hibbard's team, we got his old drive shaft, because he'd already replaced the drive shaft earlier on in the day with a brand new one.
Many problems.
So we took his old one, rebuilt his old one, and then put it in our car.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then I took it around the paddock a bit just to check it was all okay. It was. So Matt, like at this point, Andrew had also come in. He'd had a turbo pipe go. So Matt was out on track, and in our team there was only one car that was currently running. So we were like, really need to get this fixed fast, otherwise Matt's going to have to do 2 hours. But luckily we managed to get it fixed. It was all fine. So we'd already, while Stephen was fixing it, we'd already refueled it, so we're good to go. So got back in, and then they called Matt in, and I went back out.
Yeah.
And the car,
it was literally a baptism of fire for that drive shaft.
Yeah.
Brand newly rebuilt drive shaft in the car,
back out.
and then it was literally like we had enough time to get Emma's kit back on and then send it back out for 45 minutes.
Yeah, so the car again performed flawlessly. So happy this is the way we ended the season, and not just with like not even making it to Croft. Like I say, got my confidence back in the car because it's been a bit rubbish this year with everything that's been going on, and yeah, really enjoyed it and got some great battles during the session. I think again, radicals or whatever it was, I haven't seen the footage, I think it was a radical, kind of shoved me off at the national pits?
Yeah, national pits.
Yes,
No, international
pits. So yeah, I came around the corner, and then suddenly there was a radical like pushing me right out, and then I just like dipped my wheels into the gravel, which then pulled me further in the gravel. But I was like, fuck this, I'm not going off. Just kept my foot in and got myself out of the gravel again. So that was the only slight skirmish that I had, but otherwise, yeah, it was all good, and really good way to end the season. So yeah, I would like to say thanks for Bad Boy Tuning for inviting us along, and it was also great to meet George from TPE. He was along with them. So that's the first time we've met him, and the first time he's seen the car. Obviously we're running his charge pipe. We've been running that for the past like 2.5-3 years now, and we're also running his inlet manifold, which keeps the temperatures really, really cool when we're actually in like hot weather and stuff, and just in general keeps the temperatures a lot cooler. So yeah, great weekend and all, and what a great way to end the season. So yeah, we'll see you again guys, and we'll keep you posted what we're doing next year. Bye.
Bye.